The big story of the astrology for us all this month, the sun in Libra, it's a time of justice, to tell you the truth. Libras are kind of cold, hard, justice seeker kind of people, even though it's Venus ruled, it's actually co-ruler by Saturn. So it's Saturn and Venus mixed together, which is like, talk about a warrior and a half, more like a structure of love that gets the backing of money and all kinds of wisdom and solid foundation and even a structure. So it's very musical, needless to say. Libra rules music. It's kind of trippy. We have yet to unfold what the truth of astrology can possibly be, especially the Libra. That's the love. And anyway, speaking of that, well, Venus and Virgo, they're kind of known to be picky to find out what a person loves. You look at their Venus. Anyway, mine is in Virgo, so I kind of like being meticulous with things and applying that love to a lot of things. I tend to really do things. I hate to say it, but I'll do it kind of well. I'll do it probably above average, I would say. But then again, see, God, I need to humble down, I feel, and just say, what, I'm not a perfect person. There's a lot of things that I'll start and don't finish. I'm sure everybody's disappointed with that. I am definitely disappointed with that with them. Don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. But what worse thing can we do but start to do self-criticism in front of a bunch of people, and especially your narcissist? Well, we're coming off of this Mars square Pluto, which was a big pressure cooking feeling. See, but what we're having right now, as of the 9th, and then we're moving on to the 10th, see, it seems to skip like 3 degrees from the 8th to the 9th, but see, Mercury has just got done squaring Pluto, and that makes the mindset of people very investigative, and they want to figure out what's going on with Pluto, which is like what's going on with the underground, and scorpionic issues like sex and money and death and taxes and exciting things like that. But I don't know what kind of fun Scorpio has. Oh yeah, sex, right? Does anybody get into that anymore? God, talk about bringing something back through astrology, kind of awaken it and say, well, what does it represent? And start pointing out subject matter that we've kind of swept under the carpet for not very long. I mean, it seems it's more and more at an alarming rate, to tell you the truth, just in my generation alone, how much of the delicacy of intellectual expression and property is being deleted. It includes the people who know how to do things, say if it's by their hand, or say maybe it's music, maybe it is cooking, maybe it's anything and everything. See, the real information is being sucked out of it and discarded, and the discipline that it takes to get the kind of nourishment that's worth it is lost. It includes the nourishment, and people don't know a skill anymore, is what I'm saying. It's getting very alarming as I speak right now. It's like, hello, my generation, do you know what I mean? Did you learn anything? And also, see, here's the thing about what possibly can go on for the rest of us and for the rest of humanity. This is something that it has to happen, to tell you the truth. Otherwise, we're doomed. Is those occupations, say for money, that have always been done, not necessarily. It's not necessarily a great occupation, say because maybe the health risks or something, or people don't spend enough time with their family or something like this. See, I think money and the way that it, it makes people function instead of it functioning for people, right? And how would that even Here I go, starting to talk about money. So how would that look? What do you mean? Like, what would it take in order for money to start working for us instead of us working for money? Is this just garbage that I'm talking about? Do you think it's possible that we can shift our consciousness into knowing something that would say, and boy, now doesn't it make sense to just calm down and say, excuse me, but you got to pay me to do this right, not wrong. Pay me way more to do it right. The humanity is kind of in trouble with that right now, and it's kind of like a free-for-all. See, that's what I was trying to say is generationally, somebody needs to step up and do something for the whole, which it's kind of, did you notice that, okay, so if it's a whole, there's two halves, isn't there, maybe? If there was two halves, what is it? Is it the man and woman thing? Right now, I feel like somebody like Krishnamurti, right? It's just like, Shauna, you're trying to have this conversation with who? Well, believe me, there's people that don't mind hearing other people rack their brains, even though they're getting damaged by witnessing how society is working to date, like relationships, right? What the church suggests for us there, and all of it is all of it is a suggestion. Sorry about the cuss word there. Did I delete that? If not, hit like and subscribe. For one, all of it is a mere suggestion. All of it. There is rumor about some things that are going on here, and really, if you're a meditator and you kind of just look around, geologically especially, you'll notice that maybe it's not all what they try to teach you. And why would you believe that in the first place? Why don't you go and look for yourself and feel what it looks like, right? Look into it and see how you feel about it. Yeah, so having said that, um, with perception, you and I, generationally, how that they're shortening our capacity to even know anything that's going on. I mean, can you imagine? I can't imagine it. See, I'm born in 1974, and so much has changed since then, right? I'm not going to get into the 9-hour talk that's necessary to try and entertain people about what I'm talking about. See, but even with that generationally, you can't count on people being worth a damn. Sorry to say it like that, but generationally, really, do they talk to each other and hand down the story and also trades and stuff? And after all, if they're doing that, are they the ones that stole all the money, kind of a thing? Getting back to that money subject matter, babe, it won't make sense to start demanding that money works for us instead of us working for money until you realize that you're inside of an enclosure, and quite literally you could say, like, because you don't really know when they hold up a globe or a map, you don't really know that that's the truth of what's there. I mean, they're probably telling you the truth, but there's something probably a lot more, but they're not putting that on the map. And do you ever think about it on your own? Think with me, if not, like how you think you know by just them telling you a mere suggestion. It's so cute. Us human beings are so um, very precious because we just believe everything we're told, and we are backed into a corner. If you don't believe me, just look at my neighbors over there. They have just walled themselves off, and who knows what's going on with their holiday over there, that they could rat themselves off. They need to be careful of the signs that they put up. I don't know. With Halloween, right? And none of my business, but we'll make it the entire world's business about maybe that there are two types of people here, and Some of them are humane, and them are really good at posing being human. Yeah, yeah, that's what you love about your narcissist. Just kidding. It's what you don't like about your narcissist is that they may have fooled you into thinking that they were a nice person. Now it's minute 11, and finally we get to talk about that subject matter. I will put it big in title so I can get at least 2 likes. I wanted to talk about that. See, this is what people don't realize, and especially the narcissist, but when we start talking about it and they're like, they get uncomfortable because it's like, oh, well, yeah, that's me. Well, a lot of people can fall into that category eventually, because eventually everybody will exhibit the survival skills of a toddler. It's just like you get stressed out, and hopefully there's not so many immature people around you, and of course there is, that they don't make fun of you right then and attack you and keep you down, because otherwise it would be a horrible society. Yes, it is. Anyway, I wanted to talk about how, here's what's the trip is. See, narcissists, their skill is pretending to be human. So what they main thing is to be nice. I hate to say it like this, but to do nicey nice is what I call it. It's a very fake niceness. I mean, it's irritating, really. It's just, have a nice day, have a nice day, have a nice day. Just the plain old smiley face, and it's like, I don't know. I'm sorry, people, but you aren't real. Okay, those people. I'm sorry. Having talked about that emoji, anyway, I was trying to tell you, they're very plastic looking. We've talked about it. There's plastic people. If anything, if you like this video, some of the cavity that I'm showing, then hit like and subscribe. I haven't had much sleep last night. It's been really difficult going through the midlife thing, I guess is what we're calling it. Can't even explain. To top of that, other things could be going on. See, what I'm studying is the sacred part of it and the possible literature, maybe scientific study about what we're going through here that turns into a fairy tale scripture, kind of maybe religion, maybe does it happen? Is it a person, or is it just a process and stuff like that? And the way that they talk about it, I'm pretty sure I'm putting together some things. Just give me some time of living through this stuff to begin to start to connect the dots even more. See, in the last 600 or so videos, I have been connecting dots, believe it or not, and it's not been a subject matter that I can care for, the one about men and women and the natural order of things and figuring out that. I didn't really want to have anything to do with that, and sometimes I can sound biased in what I'm trying to talk about. It's like, pardon me, just pardon me. Hi, Christ, are you over there to pardon me? Yeah, girl, watch out. Just put your beard on. It's more acceptable. Alrighty. Getting back to, the narcissist is fake. They pretend being human. They are nicer than you are. That's the contest, the little cute little immature little fuckers, to have no emotions. And of course you've seen it, right? You've heard it where they flip it around on you. See, they're utterly fucking insane and gaslighting and doing weird things. It's like, that wasn't humanly ethical, and that's not humanly ethical. Like, why did you think the timing was right for that? And what, right? So they do that enough, you snap and say, excuse me, and you get unnice because you're a human and you know how to do that. It's appropriate sometimes. And then then their stone look, of probably trying to get on your nerves the whole time, they just do a smirk, they do a smile, and now they're kind of animated towards you, saying, well, look at you, you're crazy. Everybody knows that one. They sit stoic and until you fucking break and get emotional. It's after so much gaslighting and after so much mind boning, right? Everybody knows this one. and then they just turn on you and say something that, oh, that's your temperament, that's you, and shit like that. Also, your vibrational frequency, man, they would not have gotten close to you unless your vibrational frequency was low. And they're acting out. See, it could be that's happening everywhere out there. See, I don't like taking it on like, well, this is a personal issue that I'm having. Although, no, I'm suffering something still. Hi, Kim Cast and Nancy and people that have been kind of wondering. They're like, so now what, Shauna? I'm like, babes, I am humanity, and we are not out of the tunnel. We are experiencing fucking spiritual warfare. If you haven't noticed it, I mean, congratulations. You're walled off like completely, and you have a little bit of a feed hole there, and people throw food at you. I don't know, but it's like who. See, if you're anything like me, you have just determined as of like a couple days ago. I guess we had the full moon a couple days ago in Aries. That just says, no, release all of these people. All of these people around me are toxic. No good for me. How about you? Comment section down below. Did you come up with that? You're like, wait a minute. And I'm not fooling myself either. No, I, as an Aries, that part of you that has tried to make it work. See, that's one of the things I was going to point out about the beauty of the human spirit and how we are being mistaken as being mean and impatient and all of this stuff and even toxic. And it's like, no, if we're getting that way, if we're getting hostile with you and you're getting our worst side, most likely we tried with you too. We tried like in a kind of a roundabout way. We don't want to put puppet strings on you and shove you around, but we try to send smoke signals or something to try to get you to be cool. And you're just not doing it. And it's fucking ruining a lot of, okay, it's ruining our moments. I was just going to say, okay, because we can do that good enough. When we find out that it's not just us sabotaging stuff out there, I mean, you start picking up and say, no, now we're going to move forward. You're not going to go strong, man. You're going to find a strong game of tear you down and keep you down at a level. And I'm sorry to talk about it like this, but hey, Mars and Scorpio, I was trying to talk about that. See, now we're getting it away from Pluto, which it was kind of like an obvious where we're just watching it now with the Mercury squaring Pluto. It's making us talk about it. See, I'm trying to talk about it. I'm talking about this underground subject matter of, are there two types? And do you think that the one type, which is non-human, your narcissist, or any sociopath will do, um, they're being talked about puppeted by psychopaths over there who have a great idea for everybody to do with money. And somehow though they had to, I don't know, come on, getting into sci-fi, because how do we know what the fuck happened even 250 years ago, let alone 175? And the way that I think I made an equally as weird fucking video 7 years ago in this shirt. By golly, I'm getting back on track here. Hi. Send money, don't be afraid. Not taking care of me for shit. And was it supposed to? A lot of people would say no, and I'm saying that's too bad. Because that's just you limiting you. You're not limiting me, okay? And like, well, maybe you are, but really, this thing, I'm getting ready, okay? So do you want me to get my guitar and spontaneously start playing something? If you knew what I was capable of, and what I'm going through right now, really, I am humanity, and it's like, do you know that you don't really have fucking time to waste here? There's only so much time here, and there's also a process that you're going through, and it's nothing that the way that they're treating it, like it's all a disease and a problem and a hurdle, and let's try to defy it. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? Woo! If we're all kind of caged here and we're being, oh God, nobody's solving the disease problems, even though when they can be solved. This is an enclosure where it's such fucking absolute nonsense. I mean, at the very best, if you're functioning properly, by this time, 50, 60, 70, 80, especially 90 going on it, oh, just if you're not stricken with dementia, which is the narcissist disease, or Alzheimer's, which, again, believe it or not, it's the narcissist disease. It's the mind. And if you're too much into it, of course you're going to forget everything. Why? Forget about it. It's the best thing to do, actually. It's like, wow, really? You just forgot that that even you were more real than now? Well, that's great. Do you want to go bowling? Well, that's too bad, but physically they probably can't. Thanks for listening to all this. Trying to do maybe a little comedy. It's my fire back there. That means it could be getting warm. Um, not quite hot enough to be burning the kind of fuel that I'm burning right now, and I'm kind of learning how to keep it low in this particular burn stove here. What I mean is that it needs to be down to 30 or 28 degrees and snowing for this kind of thing to be happening. So, needless to say, I'm feeling like it's a sauna, but I'm at 50 years old. I'm feeling like that anyway. So, if you know what I mean, it's a double sauna. I really wanted to talk about during the month here, see, because we have Jupiter in Cancer at 24 degrees, it's been making us focus on nurturing ourselves very closely and doing for ourselves what we need in order to feel good and like really wholesomely nurture ourselves, like with the motherly love. And some of us don't have any choice but to do it ourselves for ourselves. We could be missing all of those people out of our lives right now. Maybe we're alone. Save me. And anyway, so with this Jupiter in Cancer for us all, well, unfortunately for my generation, Libra, has been squaring our Pluto and it's been squaring our Uranus. It's kind of a test of indulgence, kind of a thing. It's not possible for Jupiter to make too bad of a square. But I say no, the squares signifies maybe like a too muchness, it can exaggerate traits. So we're getting kind of harebrained now if it's squaring some Uranus out there. And just bear with us, we could have some strange overindulgences that we might be looking into to say that maybe we should stop doing that and figure out, does it have control over you or do you control it? See, and boy, I tell you, if your money and your institution that you live in that's encapsulating you doesn't give you much choice but this funky crap to buy with your money, I don't, just what do you expect, right? And at the very least, you're noticing it and maybe run for the hills and consider the lilies, like the dirt and the sun and what the birds and the bees and the trees are doing are way more interesting. Yeah, but then again, a lot of people will just completely disagree. They'll say, well, why do you have the world unless you just get right in it? Some of us are completely bored of it. It is so boring. It's a fucking loop house out there. And whatever has been suggesting it all, quite systematically making you get just an endless ongoing scene, has managed to get people's mentalities about materialism and money and stuff, like this attitude, whatever like hardly anybody's escaping. It's a reset back to 1950s. That's my theory. But really it's the 20s right now. And see, we're going to have a 50s, which is the big boom. But quietly they're doing a World War I or a World War II. Yeah, the World War II is more talking about it. See, but the 20s come up for us, me, because we're in the year 2020 and it's about to be 2026. And just looking at what music is doing, which is going backwards, somebody from my generation needs to step up or it's doomsday. Sorry that I haven't been able to do that. And in fact, I will, It's just that it's a different occupation. We have to bring back what music really is, like exactly uh, what is it, and why would you want to learn to play it collectively, really with each other? There's something going on the internet. You can see where they're trying to get people to say you can learn to play piano, and it's like, yeah, you can go through the motions, but did you know that even if they say you can learn to play the guitar, did you know, babes, it's music that you're handling there? That's a musical instrument. You have to learn how to play music and get along with music, then the instrument will help you. If you don't learn music, ironically, you have to use a musical instrument, but get this, you not really. See, you can use your voice. Basically, I prove you can use anything. Look at that pot and pan set I got back there. Just spoons, Here we go. Let's get, did we ever figure out what this is? I think it's the key of E, I think. I'm trying to tell you about music. No, you have to know music and learn it. See, there's people that can mimic music. Getting back to the fake human, they're reading music. It's kind of like the same as saying that you can read this moment now. How can you? Did you know that that was going to happen? See, that saying that Lao Tzu says, he's talking about the nature of reality. He's like, he who nows, he who speaks does not now, he who nows cannot say. It's just saying that you cannot say real life. That's why that there's a funky thing that I'm learning firsthand about the judicial system. I'm having to just go through it and learn firsthand why that they do certain procedures. When I get through it, I'll share with you what goes on. But in the meantime, I'm begging for my solitary self to be. I'm almost saying solitary confinement, but no, really, I want my solitude because the way that I operate is through meditation. If I'm quiet enough, and if there's anything going on, if it's not a problem, see, if it's a problem, I can solve it. I'm talking about my life. Meditation for everybody can solve any problem. People that don't really meditate have many, many, many problems. And that is to say, like, okay, so a lot of people don't really know what meditation is. And I would love to talk to you about it for another 20 minutes. But I would rather get back to this astrological aspect that we're having. It was hard with Mars in the beginning. I, particularly, am going to have a Mars square moon. So I just kind of warned some of the people around me. I'm like, it's not an easy aspect to have the Mars square to moon. It's very irritable, and the way it's in fixed right now, and that it's like, well, really, where's your moon? Well, my moon is in Aquarius, which is not very emotionally sound or stable. It's like the Spock temperament. I mean, we are very much Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius with moon in Aquarius, so I want to analyze from where are the emotions coming from, and I want to look at them. I want to keep looking and not get so caught up. Let's like click out of that and if I can figure out now, is this an acceptable? I do see that I'm out of hand at this point. But see, it's really hard. It was really hard. Now, if you have transits that, like what I was going through the past 4 years, and like the Saturn square Uranus in the sky that was square my moon, and it kept pivoting right on it. Boy, my emotionality was sure. Did you like the videos? I mean, I made like 2,700 of them during that time, and I'm still pumping them out, baby. And this is just not shit. This is just the beginning of what I'm really supposed to be doing for us here. Cracker, please, God, you gotta support me, man. Somehow I cannot do what I'm doing. It is the strangest thing that's happening. Talk about real life and oh, my stove is making a little noise. Talk about real life energetic support. It's an obvious. Some things are becoming obvious, and Now, getting back to astrology, sorry about this. Really, it's Jupiter is coming up to trine Neptune. See, Neptune, right here, Neptune. You see the Neptune shape right there? Sorry. And then, anyway, um, it's going back into Pisces. And there is where it starts to get into a trine with Jupiter and Mars. It's going to create a grand trine. And this is so like it's a healing feeling, really. Talk about the sauna and the sweating and the salt water. I don't know. It's um, and also Saturn is involved. Okay, because Saturn's involved, it is so beneficial. Really, it's tough learning, but it is involved. See, it's asking for clarity. We're going to get a lot of clarity here. It's a very spiritual aspect. If you're a spiritual person, you might get more refreshed. You might get a lot of more, you might get a benefit. You know, somebody might support you. You know, that is if you're a real spiritual person, not a phony like me. God, you can only tell that I'm a phony by the way how mad I get and how insane I look. And in fact, this right here, that is the look of sanity. Get used to it. Get used to it. That is the look of sanity. When it's finally had enough, when it's finally had enough, when it figures out that you're being bamboozled and it's like a big, whoa, man. See, because with Pluto in Aquarius, that's what it's offering. See, Pluto is going backwards and kind of doing a little bit of a backing away from the excavating that it's been doing from the underground, but it's going to go direct here in October here. So it's like the first outer planet that's going to start to go direct in October, which starts a whole new, and it's not going to go backwards anymore. It's going to go forward now. That's what I mean. And it's going to hit 4 degrees, and it's going to start hitting new ground, which is so good for my generation and great for some people who have the early fixed degree signs of Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. It's going to ease off on them. It's very difficult to have a Pluto square something in your chart. Yeah, very difficult. It's a season that you go through, and you can kind of look back and think, God, no, really, that was weird. It was like I was walking through an alley, and I got robbed. You know, kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. Leave it to Pluto, especially with Mars or even your Pluto. But anyway, it's going to ease up off of people on that cusp there, the fixed signs, and it's going to go and start trining the Gemini and the Libra and all we can do is say, hi, Aquarius, how are you doing? Look out for the wrecking ball. Ah, boy, they're already kind of going through it, the poor things. Oh, my God. See, I have Pluto going to go over my moon, and I kind of feel it. You know, by the time it hits 14 degrees, all I know is that if I had my way, you know, I would definitely isolate myself and start working on my art, which is to do my music. I've made a lot of music. I have a lot of ideas that I would love to, it's like do something before you turn 70, you know what I mean? And I'm like wondering, well, how long do I have to do this really? I mean, there's a lot in the background, right? That this allows it. I mean, but I think that if I can catch momentum here, right, financially, babes, we're in a fucking institution here. And nobody should be working and slaving so hard for that stuff. Nah. No, there's a whole different way to work the system. And first of all, see, you have to come together more. Like what John Lennon was saying. He's like, I think it's the people that govern the people up front there, and I don't understand it, why they just don't know that it's the people that govern things here. It's up to them to do quality control. I would say that, and I would already say that there's so much that I've kind of already stood up for, and I guess you just have to go to court and say it there and see and kind of go like this, and you'll be surprised. They'll say, that makes a lot of sense. Would you like to work at the back office here? It's getting kind of rough on us right now. Yeah, you can imagine with the spiritual warfare that is coming up now with this Mars, Pluto, I'm sorry, Mars, Neptune, Jupiter. It's kind of like, now I just got the flash of Mars, who is going to be involved with this Jupiter, Neptune trine. So now, see, Mars is a kind of a warrior, and that's who I am. I'm the Mars ruled person. And you would never think they were spiritual, but of course they are. I mean, why are they standing there in the middle of what? Supporting what? Well, God is real, baby. Love is real. So there you got Mars getting cleansed and like initiated and like badge of honor, shine the armor with Neptune and Jupiter. It's getting approved. It's getting a blow up and a glow up in Scorpio. What does that mean? Oh my God. It's at home there, so it's really getting a lot of energy. It's getting intense. It's building from its root chakra on up. The Kundalini is going to rise, baby. Somebody might get a French kiss, and then out the door they go, and money is right on the tip of their whatever. But you know what? Humanity, before it begins to get better, it's got to get a lot worse. And we're talking about, well, I don't know. See, is everybody really happy with all of the disease that empties out our wallets and really leaves us with nobody? You know, I don't know about you, but my family has succumbed to diseases and has died. And we're learning so much, whoever's left alive, right, about real medicine and how to heal if there's a possibility of it at all. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, firsthand, that if you're around people that aren't really practicing healing themselves, let alone like healing you and being cool, you're liable to get sick and you got to get away from it. And especially, right, if you can get so damaged, right? I bet you know what I'm talking about. If you do hit like and subscribe and talking about like, well, did you marry your narcissist? And then what happened? You see, some people will just like, well, I don't know what happened because I ran out the door and I worked, right? And you didn't know that person was just uh, making you that way, perhaps. They'll just turn you into a cold rolling stone. Cool, right on. This place is an institution, and the entertainment and the stuff going on, it's kind of trying to speak to you about something anyway. It's time for healing, you know, is all I'm saying with this grand trine that's going to occur. I'll try to get the exact, let me look at the exact, like the day when it hits a crescendo here. Now I'm looking at 25 degrees, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars. It's very close right there. That Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars, see, even though Neptune is kind of there, it's really Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars. So that's a trip. That means that, boy, it's like Mars. Our physical bodies are going to get an alignment, and I'm pretty sure that I am trying to preserve myself as best as I can. I'm just saying, no, I want to do this correctly. You know, I want to get this proper alignment. It has to do with higher learning. Jupiter and Saturn is also involved with higher learning, but being able to structure it and put it to work and gain a value at it. It's useful then. And with Mars setting off that in the grand trine, for us all, you'd have to look for it to be more personal. You'd look for your water signs in your chart, which is Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, and then you find out what's going through a cleansing there, especially with Neptune kind of trailing behind Saturn, that kind of erases some of Saturn's um, energy. What I mean is, Saturn is known to be a little bit too torturous, but see, Neptune is giving it a saltwater cleanse. This, what I kind of know, it's like saying, yeah, maybe the rules are like that, but they could be bent. And Oh, there's a big thing to say about that. Pam Gregory talks about it very well. She's an astrologer. You should look her up. She's a really good astrologer. But me, I'm crazy. Just kidding. No, I mean, might as well be. I'm trying to stop from going crazy, to tell you the truth. Having said that, no, yeah, look at Pam Gregory. She talks about how, like, well, see, now Pluto is moving backwards, but see, interstellarly in the solar system, somehow it's moving out of bounds. It's what is called moving out of bounds of its usual orbit. And this means that we'll be able to do things kind of out of bounds, but really it's in bounds as far as because of the reversal that's happened to us all. And that you think that evil's going to get its way, and it's just not. It is now time to move forward. See, I kind of like that Pluto goes forward before the 20th here. It just means that the out of bounds thing is going to start applying to everybody. It's going to get more and more apparent that that will be useful for humanity to experience the truth being on their side instead of the powers that be and even criminals getting their way with the populace who is rising up at all about the truth. The populace is going to win more, especially if they go to court, especially if they get passed in front of a judge. And those people think that they're actually doing a job there. See, you cannot fool all the people all the time. You'll be surprised how much of it is corrupt, right? No, not really. It's like all of it's corrupt, Shauna. What do you mean? No, you'll be surprised how people are working in cognitive dissonance there. Kind of like John F. Kennedy, who's like, excuse me, but I thought that I was the actual president. They're like, no, you're a fucking puppet. How dare you snap out of it, right? How dare you start trying to do an actual good job in office or something like that? His main thing he would come up with is, the freedom of speech thing, and also you govern yourselves. What did he say? It's not that the country what can do for you, it's what you can do for your freaking country. And in fact, do you think you're the country? Just comment section down below in case a 3-year-old is watching, Right? Oh God, what I see kind of going on in my hometown, I call it the world condensed. And it's like, alrighty. Could you see the smile, that look I get? I swear I've been getting this smile and this look. It's equivalent to the Benjamin Franklin smirk or smile or doomsday, whatever that is. Look at that fucking picture on on a $100 American $100 bill. If you ever get one, ever again in your life. Look at that fucking face. Is that face safe? I mean, you just want to sit that person down and say, explain. What is it? What's up? What's wrong? Is there something we're missing? What is it? Yes! Am I going to make another 2,000 videos about it? Maybe. Am I going to play the guitar until this thing wipes out? Of course I will. You'll see that I'm wearing my underwear and this other half of the film. I'm supposed to be playing music, and there is like a satanic cult that doesn't want us to do any of that, let alone me get a decent freaking pair of pajamas. Would you please send me some? I'll wear them for you right here. Sorry, I wanted to check this out. This is a C. I'll play a C tune for us. Did I already play this one for you? Good. One more time. Aren't I funny? I think I am. Aquarius moon, she just wants to be funny now. But look what happens. I gotta remember those chords. About you, are you stealing this love? Are you getting your guitar and trying to play what I'm doing? Something tells me at one point I already played these chords for you, and I don't care, because you know that it's a song when it goes 30,000 times over the air. If you only knew how cute my cat was being right now, right there. I'd rather show you than fix this E string. Sorry. I'll do it now. Ow. It's been a while since I played. It's actually painful to play, but if you like something enough, it's a good pain. You don't feel any pain after a while. So you have to do it right. It's painful to do it wrong. How about that? Yay. Hi, Zen. Happy birthday. It's been a while. Are you even watching any of this? I don't blame you. That kind of thing where that I just played, I would never do that unless I was crazy. I'm playing the blues as if I knew what I do, but I do anyways for you. I wouldn't believe that that's all I ever do. And I'll tell you furthermore, all of it is from India. Yeah, especially when you really play it like this. I would never do that. Never. I don't know how that happened. 52 minutes? Wow, I hope you enjoy it. I'm supposed to do something great with music. Send me a guitar. You have to have a great musical instrument.